Hi, and welcome to this live reading from Releasing Her Power Within from the Face Shifters series, Book 1 by Madilynn Dale, and this is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1, Grandma's Cabin. I stood at the edge of the cliff overlooking the lake. I watched the surface ripple as the light reflected off the bluish-green surface. I could see small insects hovering near the cloudy surface, causing an occasional fish to jump from the depths for the taste of their juices. Despite the ripples, the murky water reflected the various trees that hang near the surface below along the shoreline. The shoreline consisted of dark earth and different-colored rock, creating a fine collection of browns. The trees have various shades of greens and browns. Soon they would become more colorful as the weather continued to move into fall. The sun is blinding as I gaze ahead and take in a deep breath. I would be leaving the area soon to return once again to my busy life in the city. The smell of oak and pine hang in the air. I shield my eyes from the glare coming off the water below. I have to implant this scene in my memory so I can return here when meditating. It is something I have been diligently working on since my stress levels have been high. Working as a physical therapist assistant in one of the state's best rehabs will do that to you. Don't get me wrong, I love what I do, but it wears you down after a while. I've been working steadily since graduation 5 years ago. I've pulled in extra hours and the occasional PRN job on the side. It is safe to say that I am officially burned out now. I can't stop, though, as I am addicted to working and I don't have much of a life anyway. I am trying to change that, though. I am here at the end of this trail today with that in mind. I hear footsteps approaching behind me as I continue looking at the water. I am following a hawk along the water when I hear my friend sigh. I feel her step next to me within a hand-reaching distance. The warmth from her body seems to change the atmosphere in my little bubble. I know she is taking in the view before expressing her thoughts. This is an excellent view, Liz. I'm glad we took off to do this. I feel more relaxed now than I have in a while. How about you? I glance over my shoulder at my friend Tiffany. We decided a few weeks ago to travel to one of the state's parks I frequented when I was a kid. Tiffany and I have worked together and have been friends since the start of physical therapy assistant school. We hit it off right away. She is a redhead with blue eyes and long legs. She was a basketball player when she was younger until she blew out her knee during the state tournament game in her junior year. She still maintains her athletic build despite no longer being a seasoned athlete. That is what led her to therapy school where we met. She wanted to help those who have experienced the same type of injury she has. To see someone move through the healing process and return to play to her is exhilarating. I, on the other hand, was shorter with dark auburn hair and green eyes. I was more into softball than basketball back in the day. I have a thin build with broad shoulders. I also have a spattering of freckles across my nose. Like Tiff, I did not play sports when I went to college, but I did play a couple of intramural sports for the fun of it. The park we are visiting is one of the best parks in the state with the cleanest lake and abundant wildlife. Thankfully, we have only seen things like squirrels, raccoons, birds, and rabbits. The sign at the start of the trail mentioned bears and mountain lions, but they have been blessedly absent. The trees are huge and magnificent to behold. They range from types of pine trees to various oaks. Their sap permeates the air, and it is distinctly noticeable as soon as you exit your car. I love being able to walk down the trail and see nothing but trees above me. Between the foliage created by them, you can occasionally see glimpses of the blue sky. It is almost like being in a different world, a world where pollution and negativity do not exist. It makes for a great escape from reality. After my time clearing my head, I turned towards Tiff. Yes, this absolutely was an excellent idea. The view is amazing and it is so peaceful. We both needed this. I feel 10 pounds lighter than when we got here despite the circumstances it took to get off work. Another reason we took off for this trip was to check on my grandmother's cabin. It is a couple miles south of the park and has been in the family for decades. My mother was living in it and tending to it before she passed away last year after losing her battle with breast cancer. It was a fierce battle for her to let her body slowly go. She took the proper medication and even had a mastectomy to try and stop it, but it failed. She finally just accepted her fate and decided to live life to its fullest while she could. My 5-foot, 4-inch tall mother, with her blonde, curly hair and freckles, managed to visit all 50 states before finally passing. I loved her, and I greatly miss her. She inspired me to want to take better care of myself and live life. It has taken me some time to dig myself out of my normal workaholic mode, though. She left me the cabin in her will, and I am finally getting away to check on it. When we get back to the head of the trail, do you want to grab some dinner in town before we head back to the cabin? That sounds great. I know there is not anything edible back at the cabin to eat. We also still have a lot of things to go through. I'm thankful that my mom's old high school friend has been helping me since she passed. We arrived yesterday at my grandmother's cabin from the city. It was late when we arrived, but thankfully my mom's friend Trish had been over to change out the sheets and whatnot. Her family has been blessedly tending to it since my mom passed, and they know I can't make it out this way very often. She even boxed up my mother's and grandmother's things for me and placed them in the old library at the back of the cabin. The cabin is a beautiful 3-bedroom cabin. It has a small library and office spaces at the back of the house with a huge window overlooking the most beautiful clearing you will ever see. It has hardwood floors throughout and comfortable furniture. There is a queen-size bed in each room that have always been kept covered with handmade quilts. Most of the quilts have been around since my great-great-grandmother and grandfather were around. They are incredibly comfortable. I turn to Tiff and hug her before saying, "Let's get going before we lose more daylight. Maybe we can get back in time to see if anything comes out into the clearing behind the cabin. I am curious to see what creatures lurk around it." "Okay, let's go. I think we can pick up something from that cute little diner we saw at the edge of town and take it with us. We will have to order it there, though. We can't get any service on my cell to Google their number." "Sounds good to me. I hope they are fast." We turn in unison to head back to the start of the trail. The trail we took is one that makes a giant circle. It leads you to the cliff overlooking the lake and then brings you back again. The cliff has a small clearing set up with wooden picnic tables for hikers to rest and eat. My mom used to bring me out here when I was younger to picnic and watch the ducks and fish swim around in the water below. She would always tell me that my dad loved being out here. I am not sure what happened to her and my dad. I just know that he left before I was born. She always made it sound like they left on good terms, but it doesn't explain why he was never around. Tiff and I walk along the trail, hopping over fallen logs and stepping on the massive stones that line the edge of a creek that runs off into the lake. Luckily, we don't come across any snakes, but with the amount of noise we are making, we have probably scared away every animal. The old leaves and sticks that crunch under our boots seem to echo in the forest as we move along. I can hear Tiff humming a soft tune as she does when she works with difficult patients at work. It seems to relax me and make me realize I was tense. I am not sure why, but I have this strange feeling that something is going to change. It is an odd sense of foreboding, but I try to shake it off. This thought then starts the epic Shake It Off song to play in my head, sung by one of my favorite artists. It makes me softly giggle as I continue following Tiff's backside down the narrow trail. We are almost back to the entrance when I hear a strange rustle and hear a large crack behind me. I quickly turn to see what may have caused the noise and see nothing. Odd, I think, as I turn back to look at Tiff, who obviously either did not hear it or kept walking. She is a good 20 yards ahead of me down the trail. "Geez, hurry up, Liz. What did you do to stop to pee or something? I'm starving." She yells back at me when she turns around at the end of the trail. I just smirk and wave her off. I thought I heard something or stopped to see if maybe it was a deer or something. I didn't see anything, though. I finally make it to where she is standing and pull out the keys to my Jeep. "Okay, let's head over to the parking lot. I am pretty hungry now, too." "Psh, I've been hungry for the last 30 minutes. I can't believe you haven't been." "Well, you know how I am when I'm distracted. I don't eat, or more so, I just forget." "Yeah, I wish I had that problem," she says as she pats her belly. It's not like she is fat or anything. She has a freaking 6-pack from the amount of core strengthening she focuses on. Me? Not so much. Okay, I get it. Let's get in. We walk over to the forest green Jeep Grand Cherokee and climb in. I start the engine and turn the AC on high. With it being the end of summer, the weather here is constantly changing. It is like winter in the morning, spring early afternoon, and summer the rest of the day until about 9 o'clock. We started the day in thick hoodies that we tied around our waist while we were out. After letting the air cool off the car for a bit, I put it into a reverse. We back out of our parking spot and switch over to drive. I can't help but look out the window over my shoulder at the woods where we just left. I have a strange feeling that something is watching me, but there is nothing there. What is it that could be looking at me? Maybe it is connected to that ruckus I heard earlier. Could it have been a bear or a mountain lion following us? That would be scary. It's good we left when we did. After a few minutes, I glance over at Tiff, who has been quiet the whole time. She is gazing out the window, looking at the trees as they fly by. So, what do you think the food is like at this diner? Do you happen to remember the name of it? I don't think it's called Jimmy's like it used to be. The man that owned it when I was younger died about 10 years ago. I say, not looking at Tiff and keeping my eyes on the road. You never know when a deer will jump out of the woods here. I think it may have been Grand's place or possibly Sally's Diner. We can find out when we get there. I bet the food will be okay. It is still open and running, so it can't be terrible. I hope not. I think I may get a coffee to go with our food. I want to stay up and knock out some of the stuff boxed up in the library tonight. I know we have to go back to the city in a day, and I don't want to put off going through things any longer than I have to. Okay, that sounds good. I'm going to pass. I'm going to attempt to go for a run in the morning, so I need not caffeinate until tomorrow. I can't wait to see what the area will look like on my run. I bet the sunrise is beautiful here, especially in that little clearing behind the cabin. You should get up and watch it with me while I do my workout. It could be fun. You know I am not a morning person. Why would I want to do that? I also don't care to watch you work out. It just reminds me how out of shape I am. Psh, come on, you could totally start working out with me. I've been trying to find a gym partner for ages, you know. No. How about not? I say, chuckling. She just sticks her tongue out at me. I love the friendships we have, and that she is like my sister from another mister. It makes me wish my childhood friend Elle didn't live so far out of state. They would get along. I also don't know what I would have done if I didn't have my bestie Tiff in my life when my mom passed. She helped me get past the grief and depression I had. We continue to banter back and forth about working out and how it is crucial to health. We discuss maybe doing yoga since I'm trying to get my stress levels under control and enjoy life. We also talk about how it will perhaps help with the anxiety I get. We throw out a ton of fun ideas, but we both know that me doing some of those is going to be a huge step. I have never been a massive fan of trying new things. I have always loved comfort and routines. I do good to try new foods. Finally, after a couple of minutes of this, we pull into the lot at the restaurant, which is called Tim's Eats. We were both way off on the name, which makes both of us laugh loudly as we park. We were both way off on the name of this place, I say as I slide out of my Jeep. I close my door and see Tiff getting out. Yeah, we were. Let's go in and get some grub. As we walk to the door, I see a flyer hanging on the door. Out of curiosity, I pause before grabbing the knob to read it. It says, Health personnel wanted for a new rehab facility to open November 10th, 2020. See details for the application and contact info below. I glanced down and read through the information when Tiff pokes it in the side. Hey, quit blocking the door and open it already. I'm starved. Move it. Okay, hangry lady. Here, go on through. I hold the door open and sweep my arm down with a bow. We both laugh and step through into the diner. A waitress greets us with a white smile and lots of teeth. Hi, have a seat wherever you would like. I will be right with you. We glance at each other and shrug. We slide over to the bar and take 2 seats on the bar stools. After a few minutes, the waitress sashays over with her ticket book in hand. Hi, ladies. How's it going? What can I get you to drink? I speak before Tiff can say, we would like to get something to go. Do you have any to-go menus we could browse? Sure thing, dear. Here. She reaches below the counter and places 2 colorful printed menus before us. You can take these with you when you leave. It has the phone number and website in case you want to call it in. We just recently started an online ordering where you can order it and pick it up. We haven't been able to do the whole delivery thing yet, but we'll soon. Thanks, I say as I scan over the menu. I do know that I'm going to need a large coffee to go, black please, but if you have vanilla creamer, I will take some on the side. I will just take a water, please, Tiff finally speaks up. I think I'm going to get your grilled chicken sandwich with chips to go also. That sounds good. I quickly scan the menu again. I'm gonna just go with the cheeseburger basket with mayo and chips also for me, please. Okay, ladies, I will get this cooking for you. Do you want your drinks while you wait? Nah, we can get them right before we leave. It's no biggie. I smile. The waitress quickly walks back toward the kitchen. We watch as she finishes scribbling our order down on her ticket book before sticking her pen in her bun. I turn from the counter to survey the room. The diner is an unusual thing with a black tiled floor and red booths. The tabletops are also red, which makes them pop against the dark floor. The walls are a chrome-colored metal with various pictures of burgers, fries, drinks, and celebrities on it. It has a comfortable atmosphere that makes me want to stay for the rest of the afternoon. But I know I have a lot of things to look through at the cabin.